A body has been discovered. And what did you just say about decapitation? Well, you know. Hell. Tub's been drained. I'm pretty sure it was, you know, there was a full tub in here just a little bit ago.
Well, I think I found Margaret Leonard. Well, most of her. Well, I think I found Margaret Leonard. Well, most of her.
No, they wouldn't call the body discovery announcement. Only one person's seen it. So we found that. Not that I think it's overwhelmingly wise to stick around a murder scene. But the fact that we're here and that body is apparently a little old would probably be a saving grace.
Uh-oh. That doesn't look good.
Okay. What are the odds the police are out there, like, right now?
Well, hello, boys.
Yep.
Mr. Murphy, you need to come with us if you want to live.
Seriously?
Just kidding. What was going on in there? You know the drill.
Well, you did arrest us the
Why
other
do
day.
so many people around you end up dead?
Well, it's not because I killed them, if that's what you're implying. At least not usually.
Did you kill Margaret Leonard?
Come on, Danwich. If I killed her, what'd I do with her head? Eat it?
But we keep walking in on you with all these dead bodies. You must be the unluckiest guy in the world.
Whoever offed Margaret Leonard either hated her guts or was completely bonkers. I mean, why would someone decapitate her?
I don't care why, I just want to know who.
Wait a second, how do we even know it's Margaret Leonard? I mean, maybe that's why they took the head.
Yeah, that might have worked 100 years ago, but now we've got apps for that. We've already got a positive ID.
It's kind of fun, isn't it? I mean, kind of working together, bouncing ideas, sharing information. I mean, what if I said I had some information that might help your investigation?
I'd say you were withholding evidence.
Now, I said I might have something.
No, you said you had something that might help.
Yeah, oops.
We have an app for that.
Look, Danwich, you seem like a stand-up guy, and I know you don't want any vigilantism, so I'll play it by the book. I think I have video that might have been shot by the guy who killed Margaret Leonard. I'm just gonna hand it to you, and hope you'll cut me some slack.
It's on your smart, Alex? Let's have it.
Boy, that's handy.
The guy in the video's Mason Bowers.
And this is the guy you think was abducted. The problem is there's no evidence of anyone being abducted, so I can't investigate. My hands are tied.
Well, mine, as you see.
I may have seen this guy before on some kind of surveillance video.
A surveillance video, you say?
The video could have shown you in your apartment talking to an elderly lady. There may have been another man there as well, a mutant of some kind, who might have jumped you. The elderly lady, in theory, could have appeared to have injected you when you were restrained. In the ensuing struggle, you might have been knocked out on the fire escape.
And when would Bowers have shown, hypothetically?
Right after you were knocked out, tore through the apartment in pursuit of the old lady.
So everything that I've told you matches up, and we're both looking for Mason Bowers.
Are you familiar with a program called VCT, Vehicle Compliance Tracking? All cars come with sensors that report when one is out of compliance. For example, when you have your right front headlight shot out, if you could access the VCT database, which is illegal and highly inadvisable, you would find a list of all vehicles with the right front headlight shot out. If you could provide more information on the vehicle, you can access an ID and an address from the registration.
Any chance this might have been the vehicle seen in the Maldonado surveillance video?
You solve this Bowers-Leonard case for me, I might even see what I could do about getting that case file for you. The one from 7 years ago.
So, scratch his back, he scratches ours.
I know who Zach Williams is, and who his associates are. I'd advise you to keep your distance.
So, this guy may be as exciting and fun as Box of Rocks, but he is willing to play ball.
Don't recognize the face. Sorry. That's Margaret Leonard? I'll have to take your word for it. A speeder with a broken headlight on the front passenger side? No idea what you're talking about.
He's very by the book.
As soon as I got back from the new San Francisco Police Department, I had an urgent message from Rook. It seems Rook had a soft spot for Margaret and wanted to bring her some justice. He told me he had another interested party in the Tesla cache, a Count Saint Germain, who was staying at the Golden Gate Hotel. Maybe he could divulge some answers.
One hears a great deal about Tex Murphy on Chandler Avenue. To what do I owe this pleasure?
Word is you're a big fan of Nikola Tesla, or at least his stuff.
Yes. Your local pawn shop has a remarkably extensive offering of Tesla paraphernalia. Certainly the largest cache I've found this side of Belgrade.
You mind if I ask what your interest is in Tesla?
I gather you're at least somewhat familiar with the story of the Tesla cache? I believe some of the items Rook has were part of the Tesla cache, but he refuses to divulge how he obtained them. I presume from Margaret Leonard, or some third party who got them from her.
Shocking. Rook normally would cut off his right arm if he thought somebody'd buy it.
I've spent many years searching for something. My hope is to find a clue as to its whereabouts in Tesla's letters or journals. But the trail has led me here. Tell me, Mr. Murphy, do you know the name J.T. Donnelly?
Yeah. I mean, I just heard about it, but he was a PI, and he lived around here back in the 1940s.
At the Ritz, in the very room in which you now live. An intriguing connection.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting and maybe a little weird, but it's not a connection.
But it's so much more than that. Back in Donnelly's time, there was a man known as the Sleeping Prophet, Edgar Casey. He made a compelling case for the belief that most of us have lived past lives.
You're losing me.
Come now. You've said on more than one occasion that you felt as if you'd been born a century too late. A man out of time, as it were. Tell me, do you have disturbingly realistic, vivid dreams of another era?
What? You know about my dreams? Must be getting incredibly broad-minded in my old age. So what are you saying? I was J.T. Donnelly in a former life?
We could explore that possibility, but first, have eggs ever appeared in your dreams?
Oh, I love eggs, of course. Poached, over easy, scrambled. I mean, they're certainly nature's wonder food.
Paid for by the egg
There
council.
are affordable accommodations in better parts of the city. Something could have been drawing you specifically to the Ritz. Don't you agree?
Yeah, cheap rent. Could you maybe help me out with these memories? Help me interpret these dreams?
If you could find this egg, or even put me on its trail again, I have certain techniques, such as regression and channeling, that could help you recall past events. And, I should add, the egg is worth a fortune, which I would gladly pay.
We talk for a few minutes longer, but I tell him I need to get back to the case. This is way beyond my comprehension. Mystical eggs? Mind regression? Past lives? It's boggling. Margaret spoke of an egg being held by a religious fanatic who prays. Was it the Tesla egg I found in the wall at the Ritz? If so, it would have been there for over 100 years. Does it have some sort of channeling power from the person who possessed it? Well, Mason Bowers is still the key. I need data for the VCT so I can find out who kidnapped him. Better start asking around.
Time for some good old-fashioned detective work. You should talk to potential witnesses and see if they know anything about the suspicious vehicle involved with the abduction.
Something like that. Past lives. Yes, this is getting complicated. And right now, just to deal with immediate future, Danwitz gave us a very handy tool, I believe. I saw something get dropped into my inventory. Yeah, software for the VCT.
This VCT software will give me a location where the getaway vehicle was registered. If I can find 5 key descriptions about it.
The voice you heard was our smart
It's a
Alex.
business card for someone named Count Saint Germain.
That little piece of glass that we handed the lieutenant at the police office and he tapped it to his phone. Yeah, that voice belongs to it. It's also Mike Nelson. We're pretty much sticking with straight up Tesla stuff. Okay, so once again, we're going to go bother people around Chandler Avenue to see if we can find anything.
Hey, Tex. How's your case progressing?
So,
You're talking about the speeder I saw take off after the shooting?
yes.
What I can tell you for certain is the last 2 digits on the license plate. They were the numbers 6 and 3.
3. Okay.
Due to my restrictive protocols, I can only confirm that Count Saint Germain is currently a guest at our hotel.
We don't have a gun, so no shooting mutants. The gun we used to have is apparently in the hands of a cabbie. And she is a hologram. Not even a robot, just a hologram. So, let's see what the Knights Templar... Nope, no one here. What about Archie?
You know, Murph, I think we make a great team. What can I do for you?
Stand here while we pick on you, apparently.
She's dead? And she was living right here for years. How do you always find yourself right in the middle of everything? You have a gift, my friend.
Yeah, I think we made that joke last time.
He'd go on into these weird trances and talk about past life stuff. You know, pretty intriguing until you get to where he starts going on about Atlantis. No.
So you didn't see the speeder.
We were talking about some stuff. Tesla, Romanovs, Fabergé, that sort of thing. He sure seems to know a lot about everything.
He also kind of reminds me of Akinar from Myst. The big guy, Count Saint Germain.
That's the most recent photo of Margaret Leonard I could find. Like I said, she's been out of circulation for a while.
You know, those might just be reading glasses and he doesn't need them to look at us. Just a guess. Even though he used them in the previous game.
Hello, Murphy. How goes the investigation?
Oh, might have a lead.
Yes. I'm sure that Margaret's items came from the Tesla cache, although the pieces she gave me to sell weren't nearly as valuable as rumors would have you believe. I'm quite certain she was on the run from someone or something. I took care of her as much as she'd let me. I'm very sad she's gone.
He might have had his eyes fixed. Who knows?
The speeder that flew away after the gunshots I heard? I'm not sure what type it was, but I did notice that the interior was very unusual. It was all white.
Okay.
Interesting fellow. He was particularly interested in anything to do with Nikola Tesla. He mentioned that he stayed at the Golden Gate Hotel.
Yes, he is. We got confirmation of that. Yeah, it's very possible Rook actually was attracted to
Of all
her.
the face-melting food joints in all the towns in all the world, you walk into mine.
Those are our lines.
Would if I could.
No, huh? Louis might know something.
Hey, what can I do for you, Murph?
Moif?
Big guy? Talks like he should be on the radio. Yeah, he came in the other day. Didn't seem too impressed with my, cuisine.
Except one half of that OTP is a cantankerous old jerk.
So this is the speeder you think took off after those gunshots and the abduction the other day. I do remember seeing a vehicle. I didn't get the license plate or nothing.
Ooh.
I just saw it was one of them nice Pandians. The Bi-Turbo XL model.
That's helpful. Thank you, Louis. Remember, Zach said he didn't stick
Not
around.
again. You're gonna get me fired.
But we're
Or
still
worse.
gonna ask.
Yeah, there was a speeder that took off right after the gunshots.
Okay,
Saw it in
you
my
saw
rearview
it.
mirror. I got a thing for high-end speeders. This was a 48 Pandian. Sweet ride.
So a new car. Well, relatively new anyway.
Wow, that is crazy what happened to Margaret Leonard. Is everything okay with you and the cops?
Yeah, cops would love to pin it on me, but I think it's all tied to a Mason Bowers who was abducted outside the Ritz a couple of nights ago. I'm just trying to find anybody who might have seen something.
Oh, well, then you probably need to talk to Sapphire.
Sapphire? Sounds like some Greek oracle.
Well, I don't know if she's Greek or not, but she's definitely exotic looking. And she's one of your fellow tenants. Her door's decorated like a French nightmare, but it suits her business. So, if you hear any noises you can't identify, you might want to come back later.
That's fair.
It's a damn shame what happened to that little lady. And I'm not crazy about what it did to her apartment either.
Didn't look like it actually damaged her apartment too much.
Not a clue.
As far as I can tell, she's a dominatrix. Sapphire, the domineering escort. Have you been a bad boy? It's quiet in there now. Relatively.
Well, this is a nice surprise.
Likewise, and may I say that the neighborhood has become more friendly and more beautiful than I remember.
Thanks, Tex. You know just what to say to please the lady.
Wow, is that a... what kind of contraption is that?
So, What brings New San Francisco's sexiest PI to my door? Business or pleasure?
Yeah, we're on the clock.
Let's start with business.
How disappointing. Well, we could use that home gym in there to work off some stress. I'm sure you wouldn't mind a happy ending, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all anybody wants, right? I mean, and they lived happily ever after, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Fine. You don't want to scratch each other's backs. But what if I don't play ball? Can we still rough and tumble?
Well, Sapphire, don't make me twist your arm.
You can't make me talk.
We can do this the hard way or the easy way.
Excuse me? Are you threatening me? Because if you are, I'd love to see you try the hard way.
As interesting as that would be...
I'm sorry, Tex. I got carried away. I didn't mean to hurt you. At least not like that. Can you forgive me?
Not until I give you a good, firm interrogation.
I'm all yours, Mr. Murphy.
Okay. A lot of talking.
You're a tough guy who thinks he's above the law. What girl doesn't like to get a little turned on by that kind of man?
She is definitely strong. Definitely stronger than Tex.
First, I hear people running around up in your apartment. Then, this speeder lands outside. I hear some man yelling and screaming outside the Ritz. Then, he runs off with some other people chasing him. After a bit, he comes back, and I hear him outside my window. Sounds like he's talking to himself. Then, two other guys catch him, shove him into the speeder. Then, I hear gunshots, and the speeder takes off.
You know, it would have been useful to talk to you a couple days ago. That's all I'm going to say.
It's not the nicest place in town, but you can't beat the price. It's a live and let live kind of place. That's not my kind of store.
Fair enough.
What's she got that I don't? I can tell you one thing that I've got that she doesn't.
A home gym.
Gets along with everybody. Makes great food.
Yeah, she seems like a perfectly nice person. If a line of work we probably don't want to get too acquainted with.
I only met you a couple years ago, so I don't know what you were like before. But I like what I see now. It ain't just your ass that's bad.
Fair enough.
So spunky. And I love spunk.
Mwah! Good night, everybody.
That's the guy you think got abducted? I saw him around a few times coming to see you. I thought. He's been videotaping the Ritz. That scumbag detective has been watching me for months. After Clint took over ownership of the Ritz from Nilo, things got a lot better. He even removed all the bugs and hidden cameras. Runs the electronics shop, though he's hardly ever there.
I have cats in the room. That might be what that was.
Rook's one of my best customers. His tastes aren't as old-fashioned as you might think.
I need brain bleach. That's not an image I wanted planted in my mind.
But that place will literally kill you.
It probably.
No idea who that is. Now, what would I know about that?
I don't know, but I need the point.
That sweet lady used to live here.
Yep.
It looked black, or midnight blue at first. But when the light hit it just right, I could see that it was actually close to sapphire. Which, of course, I would remember.
Yes, you would. Hello, Garrus. The skittish thing actually decides to get up on my desk when I'm sitting at it for the first time ever. Probably because he's just a little lonely right now. Kitty, I don't want to push you off the desk. I would say sapphire blue if you could confuse it with black. Garrus. Garrus. Named after the Mass Effect character.
Well, I finally gather enough data to identify the kidnap vehicle. It's registered to a company called Ceysan, and the location appears on my map.
Garrus, I really don't want to chase you off the desk. It's hard enough to get you around me as is, you skittish thing. Thank you. So we automatically find where we need to go. Boy, why do I have a feeling this is going to start leading into death material here?
I check out Ceysan was smart, Alex, and find out it's some sort of doomsday cult recruiting candidates for a brave new world. And they believe this world will arrive soon. These boys take their schoolwork seriously.
Okay, yeah, it's about time to start dying, I believe. Find 8 pages. What? I was making a joke based on the fact that the flashlight just gives us that little bitty circle. I'm not seeing anything out here. So, yeah, I could look at the pail. I was looking outside first. I was just trying to scan over the ground and see if anything popped up. Because Tex Murphy is very much a game that's all about pixel hunting at the worst of times. All I hear is the wind. So...
There's something inside that bucket at the bottom of the well. Nice little wishing well, but a couple of pieces of equipment are missing.
So we need some rope. Huh.
Force field blocking the entrance. I wonder if there's a mechanism around here that could turn it off. There's some interesting symbols written on these pillars. There's some interesting symbols written on these pillars.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay. A V and an unk. Okay. Then that one inverted. Just right there. And the rectangle, I guess? Okay, I don't think that was it. Maybe I need the fronts to match up. Okay, that worked. Not that that was a particularly difficult puzzle or anything.
Unfortunately, I arrive at Ceysan and set off every alarm possible. I'm missing a token that would grant me entry inside. I head back to my office to devise a new strategy when I find a fax waiting for me. Someone's been watching over my shoulder, and it's not a comforting feeling.
So we can open up the force field, but we can't get inside. Huh.
Oh boy, fax. My friend Louis runs the Brew and Stew, and this is his personal brand of coffee. I gotta say, it packs a wallop.
It's coffee with a mushroom cloud on the cover. If you actually want to get inside Ceysan, meet me at the top of Coit Tower.
An anonymous informant wants to meet me at Coit Tower.
I see no way this can go horribly wrong. None whatsoever. An old friend, yes. Is the tower this way? I think the tower was the other way. So far, 2 of the game days have ended by discovering dead bodies. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yep, this is a great idea. Just waiting to meet some anonymous chap who still sends faxes. You know, he probably uses real bullets.
I think you need to be a little more trusting of people.
Tax. I'm plugged into the internet. The internet! And you want me to trust people?
A good point.
I don't think we can fashion a rudimentary lathe. It would be useful. And Tex cannot have anything that's obviously useful. I saved recently. Right before I set off all the alarms. Remember, Tex beat a laser grid with a plastic ring that you had to fill up with water at one point.
Hello, mate.
Slade?
No way.
What?
This is
We're
bad. This is real bad.
Locked up in San Quentin till 2260? No, not me. Good behavior.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm glad you've turned over a new leaf. I'm a big fan of forgiving and forgetting. Mostly forgetting.
So what don't you remember?
Just the last 7 years.
So you don't remember everything after you and Chelsea got nicked? Chelsea's brother? The English woman, Juliet? Our little partnership?
Our partnership? Look, I know we just made up, but I think I'd rather lick toilets with my tongue than work with you.
Ah, but you did, Tex.
I did? Which one?
Work with me. And it paid a lot better than licking dunnies. How do you think you made all that money? These past few years have been, shall we say, mutually beneficial.
This is not good.
Now it seems the same old Tex. The Boy Scout is back. That's a problem.
You want to know what's wrong with the Boy Scouts? Not a darn thing.
So you've been helping us track down this precious little egg. First you say you got it, then you say Margaret Leonard stole it. Next thing I know, you turn up at Cezanne tripping security alarms like some clueless amateur. Well, what the hell was that all about?
For your information, I set those alarms off on purpose, and I don't have to tell you why.
Always got to do everything the hard way, don't you, Tex? This will get you into Cezanne. Hope you know what you're doing. I'll give you 24 hours to find that egg. And then I'm gonna come looking for you. And you know I'll find you.
Slade is basically a hitman. He's from the first game. The very first game. If I'd ever gotten to actually get Overseer up and running and made videos of him, you would have. There was a whole section, a whole time section about breaking into his apartment to get paperwork, basically. If I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure I'm not. No, wait.
Well, Big Jim Slade is right. This key can get me inside Cezanne.
Actually, let me verify that Big Jim Slade is the person I am thinking of. I'm just verifying that real quick. Yeah, he was in Mean Streets. Yes, I am thinking of the right guy. Yep. International hitman that we basically had to shoot a whole lot. So I was remembering correctly. Let's see if I can find the one artifact in Tex's apartment up here. See if I can find that. to give you an idea of what it looked like when we had that showdown.
Whoa, I've never seen this much money in my life. If this is my money, what were they paying me for? Ah, that was for my first jackalope hunt. Yeah, San Francisco looks way different now.
One of these leads to a
permanently sealed as it opened
cutscene.
directly. The door to my back storage room is locked. That's strange.
One of these pictures leads to a cutscene that kind of shows you the combat, the combat in
Archie Ellis wrote a book. I bet this sells for pennies on eBay. Well, this happened on my first case.
Yeah, here we go.
I was in the shootout of my life at the warehouse district.
Yeah, you basically have the showdown with Slade during this scene.
I took a bullet, and while I was recovering, I swore I was always going to use my brains before brawn.
So yeah, that's how that happened. Yeah, we did see that last time, but a couple of people weren't here for it. So now that we have the magical seashell thingy...
You can be hung over from things other than alcohol. My meeting with Slade left me shivering like I had the DTs. This guy and I were partners over the last 7 years. There's trouble in my soul, and it's become as cold as ash. The further I see down the barrel, the more dangerous and diabolical my world becomes.